Last night, American and Allied airborne forces boarded their planes and took off towards France. Shortly after midnight this morning, and despite the German anti-aircraft defenses, our boys set foot behind enemy lines in Normanday. In the meantime, at dawn, the greatest armada ever assembled opened fire and proceeded to land assault troops on the shores of France. The liberation of Europe is underway as we speak.
Both airborne divisions have been blown to the four winds all over the Cotentin Peninsula. Let's hope it'll disorganize the Germans as we planned. Half the men have been misdropped, sir, including ourselves. We seem to have landed at the boundaries between our 82nd and the 101st. Way too far from the division's objectives at Saint-Mary-Glisse and the bridges over the Merderet River. Yet we aren't the only ones completely off mark. The first amphibious assault wave has just hit the beach right on schedule, but much further south than planned. That is, just east of our present position. New orders from Division HQ, sir. You are placed in charge of a provisional task force, gathering any isolated paratroopers in the area, whatever their unit, and securing Eau-de-Ville-la-Hubert to allow our ground force to exit the beach as quickly as possible. The city and vicinities are held by a mere company of infantry. We must seize it as quickly as possible and put Eau-de-Ville in a state of defense to repel any attempts by the Germans to recapture it, and then counterattack quickly to open the way. The German coastal defenses are manned by auxiliary troops of poor military value, but they are supported by heavy guns. Any help we could provide in destroying those guns would hasten the amphibious forces' advance inland.
Here's our objective, Eau-de-Ville. Compose your battle group. Jeeps and M20 command cars are our cavalry. Their 50 caliber machine guns will pin down the enemy infantry and rout light vehicles. Jeeps and M20 command cars are our... Mortars and howitzers are the answer to our paratroop. Troops ready for deployment, sir. Just give the order to launch the offensive when you're ready.
At your orders. We're paratroopers. We're supposed to be surrounded. Any orders?
Are you sure it's safe there?
Kameraden, Waffen niederlegen. Platoon, formed and ready. Airborne ready, sir.
Start the engine. We're moving.
Be advised. Enemy sighted.
Fire! Smash them!
MG, Use smoke to cut its line of sight.
Drop 200. 6 rounds. Over.
They spotted us.